First things first. Warm dishwasher glass. Nice. Now, we're cooking. Social gin soda. It's lovely. Couple bubbles in it, and that's it.
You're not getting paid to endorse that product.
I think I just figured out what it's called.
What?
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. I tried to, recreate Nana's manicotti after she passed away, but she was never one to like give you exact instructions on how to do something. So I never did learn how to make it properly. So I tried and I tried and I tried, and it always was wrong. And even though Paul and Papa said, oh, you just need to add more cheese. Just add more cheese to that. That's all it needs. Just, some more cheese. I was like, no, there's something missing from this that I did not. And then one day Papa came up with the recipe that he found in one of her cookbooks. So he took a copy of it, and lo and behold, there was the magic ingredient that I wasn't getting in there was the milk-soaked bread. So that was it. We cracked the code, and since then I've been making proper Nana's manicotti. You do have the meat started over there, so we know we have to do that. We have to brown the ground beef.
How much ground beef was that?
2 pounds. Meat's browning, almost there.
Tracey says put an onion in. How much of an onion?
Well, I just looked at the recipe, and it doesn't actually have an onion in it. But I'll tell you something about your mom, is she always, catered to your dad. So maybe the original recipe didn't have an onion in it, but she would use onion powder or garlic powder.
Oh, okay.
You can't change. Trust me. Whoops. I get splashed.
Don't use that bowl. You'll hate yourself doing this over and over again.
This is the bowl I use for this.
That's the worst bowl. It's tippy. You know it's tippy.
I know, but it's gonna do the job. Anyway, so it calls for 2/3 of a cup of milk and how much bread? 2 slices of bread, but that's a small slice, so I'm gonna put another slice in.
How small am I going with this?
Pretty small, Papa's eating it, so you don't want chunks of onion.
You don't
want it,
visible.
Yeah, not visible. Because, we don't pander specifically to Papa.
We just did.
We do. Onions can go in, and some salt and pepper, and some Italian seasoning. So we're going to put the Italian seasoning in. And I've told my kids this, and this is what a good friend of mine told me when we used to make sauce together. That when you're putting your seasoning in, like a layer over, like a thin layer over it is essentially kind of how much you need to give it the amount of spice that it needs. I don't know if Paul has added salt to that or not.
Yeah, I did.
We'll do it again.
We like our salt.
We like salt. We were supposed to do these onions a little finer than that, Paul, but the thing with Papa is you either got to make them big enough that he can pick them out or small enough that he can't see them. So we should have had our water going already, Salt and water, this is coarse salt.
Even though we call this manicotti, which
It's
it's a different shell,
seashells.
it's really jumbo seashells. These came from over the river. It's our last package.
It's February 21st. We're in the pandemic. The American border is closed, thank God. But, now I'm running low on all the things that I'd like to get over the river, and this is one of those things. Push comes to shove. We have them in Canada too. They just don't stuff as well as, or as easily as these ones do. I'm actually going to put the meat, turn the meat off. It's browned. I'm going to throw it on the front porch. It is, February. It's nice and cold. I want to cool it down a little bit before we put our cheeses in here. It's okay if it's a little bit warm, but typically, I let it cool right down. So we're in a bit of a time crunch. I'm going to throw it on the front porch.
Just regular mozzarella cheese. It's not necessarily. Well, it's 20% M.F.M.G, which is probably irrelevant. And in this particular recipe, don't spare the cheese. Well, I think that's true for most recipes.
Let me see what you got there. You don't need that. Yeah, okay, we know.
What's that, like a cup or 2?
That's probably 2 cups. We probably only need like a cup and a bit.
Cup and a bit.
Cup and a bit.
Cup and a bit.
It says 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. How much is that?
Not sure.
Well, whatever it says, your mother used to, cheese the crap out of it, so that's right. Water's boiling, shells are going in. You don't need a whole box of shells. Give them a little sugar. Make sure they're all not gonna stick. You're not gonna cook those all the way through. 10 minutes and you know, they can still be quite firm. You wanna be able to get them open and work with them. Only took, you know, less than 10 minutes on the front porch, but it's nice, it's cool. Like the cheese isn't gonna melt in there. So you can put like a couple of handfuls of cheese in there, Paul.
Just turn this in.
Yeah, you can turn that in.
Yeah, Tracy makes this. I'm just assisting. This isn't my meal. Well, I guess I don't have to turn it in because it's.
It's all, you know.
Don't you break that up?
You can break it. You're going to break it up with your thing. So,
I don't think that's going to break it up. I'm just going to go like this.
Well, you have to break it up. You have to.
Well, that's what I say. Shouldn't we break it up?
Well, I could break it up with the thing. If you can't, that's fine. But you know.
No, I can't break it up with the thing. You're going to bruise them.
Cut it and exactly. You really want it so that you can't really, you know, define it as gray.
Okay, I got you. Wouldn't you want to do this before the cheese so you're not pounding the crap out of your cheese?
No.
You grate into that section and I'll just pull it in as required.
I don't think I've got the right cheese here. How about that?
Oh, that's, you know what that is?
That's the
Because
cheddar.
I threw the label out.
Oh, I put the label
You
in
had
it.
the label in it, but I threw it out.
So yeah, gotta be careful. That is not Parmesan cheese,
That
people.
would have been a disaster.
That is old Irish cheddar, so
That would have been a seriously
maybe it would have been
stupid
delightful.
move.
Who knows?
Is it messing you up that I keep taking away your Parmesan so you can't calculate how much you're putting
I
in?
know how much is in there.
Are you sure?
I do.
Alright.
And I say that is enough. There we go. Shells are in. Just cold water. Oh, and see how they kind of curled back in on themselves? See, like that? Sometimes that's really bad and you have to peel them apart. But these guys, you know, maybe I should have cooked them a little longer. But yeah, they'll stay open for me when I go to stuff them.
Did you shut the front door? Yeah, you did. It's warm in here.
You shut the front door.
Oh, you're going to go with the gloves?
I'll go with gloves. That's one of the reasons why I hate. I was about to get spoons out again, and you know, we use the spoons for about half a second, and then we give up and we just end up stuffing them with our hands. But I personally, I don't know if it's an age thing or what, I don't like getting goo on my hands and under my nails. And so I'm going to stuff the shells with my hands, but I'm gloved up. So I'll pick an easy one to start because this one is nice and open, and maybe there's too much water in here. And maybe I'll just switch these around so that I go from shell to meat filling the shell. I don't put nearly as much in as Paul would like me to because I like to get a little longevity out of it. So then you turn them upside down so their little bumps are sticking up. Okay. Ta-da! So we're just going to go along and, you know, actually I think I usually go this way, don't I?
I'm going to grab all the easy shells.
Okay,
There's an
that's
easy
fair.
shell.
I'll start grabbing the
That's
hard
an easy
ones.
shell. So yeah, an easy shell is, make sure the water gets all the way up,
Yeah.
is one that stays open, because if you have to try to uncurl and stuff at the same time, you want to kill people. See, when they get that top one trying to curl itself in, it's just like, I want to kill people.
How unlike you. And you know what? There's not enough meat for this guy. That's when they have to go in and steal some from one hand.
Oh, you son of a gun. Don't do that.
That's one of Paul's, right? Paul overstuffs
I
everything.
overstuff all the time, but I hate when you go into my shells. You're not going to wash those? No, no. No. No, they go in the garbage.
I'm going to get in the pan.
Those are called disposable gloves for a reason.
This is the one we're eating, so you're going to sauce and cheese this one. This is the one that we're saving for another day, so you're going to sauce it, but you're not going to cheese it.
Okay.
Okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
For 3 of us. I only eat 2.
In the absence of ragu, we've gone with Prego. I don't know why. Tracy had some stuff from Costco that wasn't working for me. Tastes more like the spaghetti sauce that you get in Chef Boyardee, those little pans. I don't know how much sauce to put on here, Trace.
Just, you know, half and half over the 2.
Well, I'm going to use the whole jar.
You're going to use the whole jar. $4.20, and I am getting in the hot tub as soon as I'm done washing dishes. So.
It's $4.20?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's $4.20.
It's $4.20. And then I want to get the edges so there's no dry, hot air getting at my shells. I say that like as though I have experience with this, but Tracey always does this, so I'm just really sort of bullshitting. This one goes in the freezer. Yeah, which means you just get a free manicotti meal down the road. And this one for today.
Gonna cheese it though, yeah? Hello? Gotta cheese it still.
Okay, so, you know, this one for today. And I'm gonna cheese it. That's a lot of cheese too.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cheese. Look at that cheese. That's a lot of cheese. With 12 in there, that's 4, 4, and 4, if my math is correct.
Dude, I'm gonna eat 2.
You promise?
You wanna make some escargot for Papa in case he starves with, you know, only 5 manicotti shells?
That's a great idea. And now that is oven ready. Alright, after glorious 45 minutes plus 15 with the lid off, that's how it's meant to look. So hopefully that gives you a good perspective. Lots of bleed coming out the edges here, you know, the fat sort of kind of works it out, the cheese is white in the middle. That's how it's meant to be. See ya.